So if you want to create a subdomain from your primary main domain, once you log into your cPanel, you go to domain, click on domain. After clicking on domain, you scroll down to come here to where you will see subdomain. Click on subdomain. After clicking on subdomain, you click on add subdomain. Then here, this is where you are going to add your subdomain. So as you can see, your subdomain will appear to the left of your domain name like this. That means the subdomain will come first, followed by your primary domain.com or .org. So in that wise, now let's assume we want to create a subdomain now. Let me say my subdomain is blog, B-L-O-G, blog. I have to select the main domain, which is my primary domain, where I want to create the. So now I will select my primary domain, which is this one. Then now in the root directory, where do I want this subdomain to be? I have to give it a name. So in order to do that, I will put, so that's something I can remember quickly each and every time. In case I visit my public HTML, I should be able to recognize the name of the root directory of the subdomain. So let me put something familiar, as in blog site. So right now I've created a subdomain. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to click on add subdomain. Just wait a second for your subdomain to be created. So now your subdomain has been created. As you can see it here, and this is the subdomain we just created. It's blog.bcm.org. This is the name of my subdomain. This is my primary domain. So this is the subdomain name. As you see, the root domain of it is bcm.org, and the document root is in the public. When you visit the public HTML, this is where you will find the root domain. Now this is a separate site on its own, which does not have anything to do with bcm.org, only that it is located inside this primary domain. So, or to install WordPress for this subdomain, now we go to add site. Please it here. When you click on add site, then you click on create site. What is the site name? Remember, our site name is blog. Then what is the tagline we are going to give it? Let's assume we are going to say blog and make money. Blog and make money. So this is the site tagline that will appear under this one. Now let's continue. Then we have the option of choosing any of these plugins right from here that will help us to build our site, but we may decide not to add any one of them, because eventually when we get to our WordPress site, we still add some new plugins, or most of these plugins are there where we can add them freshly. So let's just assume we don't need many of them. Okay, let me say I only need WordPress form. Let me remove all these ones, so that only WordPress form will be it will go in with my subdomain. Now what is the domain? The domain is, remember, the domain we just created is blog.bcm.org. What is the root domain? Remember the root domain is blog site, blog/site. So this is the root domain. Now that you have entered it, you click on next. Say hold tight while we set your site. Now we have to wait for some minutes in order for the site to load. You see now WordPress installed successfully. So we have eventually installed our WordPress. Now you can either go back to my site or log into WordPress. So let's log into our WordPress and see how our dashboard will look like. Now let's hold on while our WordPress dashboard is being loaded. It's going to take some few minutes, then after that our website will be fully loaded. From there we can now begin to upload some plugins and begin to build our site from scratch. Right now we are in our WordPress dashboard. From here we can now begin to build our site from scratch. So what do we need to build our site from scratch? We need to begin to install some plugins like page builders and some other things that we need in order to make our site look neat and good before we can launch it. Right now our site will be a bare site. Now let's visit our site and see how it will look like. Let's visit our site and see how it will look like. We click on open in a new link. See how the site look like. It is very bare. This is the name of our site and this is the tagline that we entered in the previous. Remember, now you can see hello world. This is the bare site without anything in it, because we have not yet built it. We have not yet installed our theme, so we need to install theme in order to build this website. We need to install also page builders and some other things that we needed in order to build this website. So we need to do all this before we can launch our site, before we can remove our site from coming soon. So once we are able to build our site and finished everything with it, then we come down here. You can scroll down here, as you can see here, it says launch your site. So once you click on launch your site, then your site will be live. So this is how to create your subdomain in your cPanel. Thank you. I will see you in my next video. Please subscribe for more updates. Bye for now.